church had been built many years before. The shield over the door read 1758. The name for the flying company, San Jose and Santiago del Alamo de Tares. But by 1835, everyone simply called it the Alamo. It was part of a compound of adobe houses and earthworks with its west wing facing San Antonio. The siege of the Alamo began in leap year February of 1836 and ends in the dawning of March 6th. In a short time, our young musicians will afford you the opportunity to hear and feel the essence of what was pounding the souls of men. The Greek word, sympheo, where our word for symphony originates, explains the musical diversity that brings about harmony through love. Like 180 men or so, many who fought in the end from a hospital bed, who came from many states, many walks of life, but all fought together in a unified front and stood their ground against General Santa Anna and some 3,000 or more Mexican soldiers. The true meaning of the story that will unfold here is a story of love. Initially, love of country and love of freedom. But once the battle had begun, love for a brother. The love only men who have tasted the air of combat can know. Travis was awoken at about 5:30 a.m. on his final day as the door burst open and the officer of the day shouted, "The Mexicans are coming!" Travis leaped from his cot, grabbed his shotgun and his saber, and then ran the 70 yards to the ramparts of the north wall. The Mexicans were already poised on the other side to raise their scaling ladders. Travis yelled back into the compound, "Come on, boys! The Mexicans are upon us, and we'll give them hell!" Travis then leaned over the edge and gave the Mexicans both barrels of his shotgun. Out of the milling throng below, a spotty volley came back at him. Flying at shattering velocity, a brown bass sent a lead ball more than 3/4 of an inch thick, striking him full in the forehead and sending him reeling back against one of the cannon. Defiant even after the end, he still clutched his gun in his hand. Since those days in 1836, some men have run fast and furiously to erase that line drawn in the sand where men banded together to make a stand for the benefit of others. The three names that stand out in the history books are Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, and William Travis. The three were last together on February 25th, 1837. A carpenter, his name lost to history, labored over a small coffin that morning. No ordinary casket, this box was to hold remains more symbolic than real. Its burden, not the body of a single man, but a smattering of the ashes of 200 or more. It was just 9 days short of a year since they had died, their battered corpses immolated in one huge funeral pyre and two smaller ones. In the intervening 12 months, the piles of ashes and charred bones just sat out in the open, blown by the prairie wind, picked over by foraging rodents, scattered by the passage of men and animals. The men those ashes once had been became truly a part of the soil they had died for. Still more remained than the small casket could hold, and so only ashes from the two smaller piles went into the box. On the inside of its lid, the carpenter carved three names: Travis, Bowie, Crockett. Three to stand for them all, and now to rest forever together in this casket, united in eternity as they have been united in their deaths. You could view the circumstances that led to the cause of their deaths from more than one lens or perspective. You might say it was a war for Texas independence, an act of greed in taking land that belonged to Mexico. Or you might say it was suicide, and that they should have surrendered and where more diplomacy should have been exercised. The facts remain, and we cannot and should not rewrite history. Even though all perished, those dead did not die in vain. This nation under God did expand, and that dream of freedom still rings in the hearts of Texans today. Case in point. In 2005, 4 Navy SEALs were surrounded by approximately 180 Taliban fighters, and the lone SEAL survivor was wearing the flag of Texas on his uniform. Bloody and dirty, the SEAL gave that flag to fellow Texan and former President George H. Bush when the president honored Marcus Luttrell for his heroism. Marcus Luttrell had remembered the Alamo during his fight for survival in defense of his country. What kind of men were they that laid down their lives that day? Crockett, Bowie, and Travis represent the three distinctive kinds of men who were responsible for pushing white American civilization west of the Mississippi, and at the same time of those sorts who ever appeared at the forefront of the move across the continent. Their involvement in Texas settlement and revolution and their apotheosis at the Alamo only magnified them as exaggerated portraits of hundreds of thousands of others. They were all products of the Scots-Irish migration. They were all the kind of men the French observer Alexis de Tocqueville had in mind when he wrote in the 1830s of the American penchant for improvisations of fortune. Crockett stood for the thousands who were always on the edge of the wilderness, the men for whom no home was permanent, not itinerants so much as seekers, their gaze always cast westward. Bowie epitomized those who invariably followed the Crocketts, the entrepreneurs and the exploiters, the men who came after and profited, often outside the law, and moved on to the next potential bonanza, their addresses almost as temporary as Crockett's. And then arrived Travis, the man of community and society, the lawgiver, town builder, even founder of a state or nation, one of the millions who came and stayed to create. For those three, the road west stopped at the Alamo, and for those who followed, the horizon had no limit. From the chaos of that brutal final battle that began before the sun rose on March 6, 1836, a group of men paid the last full measure of devotion and bled the ground red at a place known forever as the Alamo.